Number 10. Mindy Kaling. A video of the actress has resurfaced online recently, which has a lot of people upset. It comes from her appearance on The Conan Show in 2016, where she joked about inappropriately touching her co-star Lee Pace. The disturbing confession comes when Conan asks her if the power that comes along with having a show named after you has ever got into her head. He was referring to her comedy TV series The Mindy Project, which was based on her own life. After admitting that she did let the temptations of misusing her power get to her, she told the audience the story of how she kissed her co-star Lee Pace without his consent while they were filming an intimate scene. She said, "I improvised just kissing him in the scene, which was not in the script. He was just looming above me and he asked me a question. I was not listening to him at all because who cares what he was saying." She said that he then reacted with an uncomfortable and equally shocked face. What she did wasn't in the script, and it wasn't even talked about beforehand. Conan joked that since she got away with it once, it would be happening a lot more now. Then Mindy jokingly crossed her fingers as if she was wishing it would. Number 9. Jared Leto. The actor caught some heat when TMZ leaked a video of him and his band 30 Seconds to Mars listening to Taylor Swift's 1989 album and saying how they really felt about her. Jared was caught saying, "F her, I don't give an F about her. It's whatever works best for us." Taylor's fans were obviously not too happy with what was said, and Jared received some pretty intense backlash from that recording. So much so that he eventually was forced to issue a formal apology, saying, "The truth is, I think Taylor Swift is amazing and an incredible example of what's possible. If I hurt her or her fans, my sincerest apologies." The whole thing was pretty awkward. Apart from that, Jared's also been called out on Twitter by other celebrities. In 2018, Dylan Sprouse shocked the internet when he tweeted, "Yo, Jared Leto, now that you've slid into the DMs of every female model aged 18 to 25, what do you say your success rate is?" As you would have predicted, the tweet totally blew up and many people were happy that he was finally getting called out. In response, director James Gunn tweeted, "He starts at 18 on the internet?" Well, it's unclear what prompted Dylan's message. A lot of people did not like the fact that Jared never actually addressed those allegations. Number 8. Lizzo. A TikTok user by the name of Taryn Hart made a video explaining the moment that she had a disappointing run-in with the singer. Story goes that she and her mother were very excited when they won tickets to meet and greet Lizzo, as well as tickets to go to her concert in Dallas. After they queued for 3.5 hours, Taryn said that when she finally got to meet her idol, it was not the experience that she expected. Right away, she walked in and complimented Lizzo, saying, "OMG, you're so beautiful and you're even prettier in person." But instead of responding or even saying thank you, apparently she just nodded her head in silence. Then her mother said, "I love your music and I love listening to it on the radio." And Lizzo's response was, you guessed it, more silent nodding. Taryn said, "The woman did not say anything. She didn't speak. Right after she nodded, she turned and smiled for the picture. After waiting 3.5 hours, that was all we got. I didn't even hear what Lizzo actually sounds like." Her video left fans divided, as some people claimed that she might have been exhausted and not necessarily trying to be rude, while others were not so understanding. Number 7. Lea Michele. The actress starred as Rachel Berry on the hit TV series Glee from 2009 to 2015, but it was only after the show ended that her real on-set behavior was exposed. The controversial new documentary The Price of Glee features some bombshell revelations about Lea. Recently, the assistant to the executive director, Garrett Greer, described her as a narcissist and claimed that there was a conflict whenever she felt her character wasn't getting enough attention. Debbie Snell, a fellow Glee actor, also came out with his own horror story. He claimed that she banned him from sitting with the main cast during their lunch break, all because she didn't think that he belonged. He said, "I was there maybe 10 minutes and then I got pulled off by someone on set." This person allegedly told him that someone specifically at the table didn't want him sitting there because they said that he didn't belong with the rest of the group. Debbie asked the crew member if Lea was the culprit, and he says that they made a wincing face and then nodded. He went on to say, like, "Wow, I really just got pulled off because of my status on the show. I've never experienced anything like that, even in a high school setting." Number 6. Paris Hilton. When The Simple Life debuted in 2003, the socialite portrayed the ditzy blonde rich girl alongside Nicole Richie. But it was only with the release of the 2020 documentary This Is Paris that fans started to realize the truth. The series revealed that she was actually a genius. Not only has she been putting on a baby voice for most of her career, but when it comes to business, she's always been very intelligent. Paris spoke to InStyle and said, "I'm I'm a lot smarter than I pretend to be. The world got introduced to me with the simple life, with this kind of ditzy blonde airhead character, but that's never been who I've been. The movie insisted that Paris was a spoiled brat who claimed to have never even heard of Walmart, but none of that was real. She said, like, obviously I know what Walmart is. It was all about entertainment. Anything that I was doing, I was always planning in a way. I wanted to entertain the audience. Turns out the dumb blonde act really paid off because Paris gets six-figure paychecks for public appearances. She's also launched 19 product lines and basically created a new genre of celebrity. Those people that are famous just for being famous. Number 5, Jennifer Lawrence. There's a lot of reasons why people now view the actress's personality as fake, but that wasn't always the case. One social media user summed it up pretty well when they tweeted, "The way society turned on Jennifer Lawrence needs to be studied. She was the it girl of my formative years." But then as quickly as she rose to success, everyone was like, wait, she's actually fake and annoying. This concept that Jennifer was pretending to be awkward really gained a lot of popularity in 2013 when she won her first ever Oscar for Silver Linings Playbook. She was walking up to accept her award and she dramatically fell on the stairs. Although she did receive a standing ovation from the audience after her fall, and she seemed emotional about winning, she was still sensitive about the trip, and apparently it didn't help that news anchor Anderson Cooper made a dig at her days later. She said, "I saw him on CNN 3 days later saying, well, she obviously faked the fall, and it was so devastating because it was this horrific humiliation to me. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to give a speech like that again. So it didn't feel good for me not to have a speech." Number 4, Trisha Paytas. The 34-year-old YouTuber is best known for her videos where she eats and cries on her kitchen floor. She's been uploading videos on the internet since 2005, and you may recognize her from reality TV shows as well. Many people have asked, how did she become so popular in the first place? Because as we know, breaking the YouTube glass ceiling is a lot of hard work, and Trisha was one of the first creators to do it. She realized that the only pathway to internet fame was to be so outrageous, and so she built an empire off of being a living meme. While many people may underestimate her as simply a dumb blonde, she's actually an expert in the art of trolling, acting, and shocking viewers. Much of her fame came from simple videos where she puts on a persona and plays dumb for the camera, like the time Trisha made a music video professing her love for O.J. Simpson, insisting that she didn't know who he was, but she saw that he was released from jail and found him attractive. Not to mention the time in 2017 when she posted a video claiming that there was a vampire hiding in her house trying to steal her used tampons. As a result, her views skyrocketed, and she even went on to become the first YouTuber on Celebrity Big Brother UK. Number 3, Jennifer Lopez. The singer was called out on TikTok by a former Hollywood stylist named Tamaran, who's worked with several major celebrities from 2008 to 2017. She made a viral video speaking about her less than pleasant experience working with J-Lo. She said that people who work for the singer aren't even allowed to look at her, and there's a reason why she can't hold down a costumer or a seamstress. This lines up pretty well with all the reports of the singer's unpleasant behavior. Apparently she tries to avoid eye contact with anyone in the service industry and makes illogical demands. According to a flight attendant for United Airlines, she actually flat out ignores staff members and doesn't even directly respond to them. The employee told Star magazine, "I just said, what can I get you to drink?" Jennifer refused to even acknowledge me. She turned her head away and told her personal assistant, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke." She wouldn't even look at me. It was sad. She seems so sweet in her movies. So it's likely that she's different in real life. Number 2, Ned Fulmer. The internet went crazy when a video started circulating on social media of Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys kissing his employee Alex Herring at a New York City bar. Now Alex is one of the most well-known employees of the company, and over the years she's been featured in many videos. So not only was Ned cheating on his wife there, but Alex was also engaged to her fiance Will Thayer at the time, and the couple had been together for 11 years. So the scandal was really insane. Fans were beyond shocked that certified wife guy Ned was even capable of cheating on his beautiful wife Ariel Fulmer. He was known as a super devoted husband who loved to gush over his wife in almost every video. So he really betrayed the audience as well as his own family. As a result, he was swiftly fired from the Try Guys, and he had to put out a statement owning up to the affair, where he took to his own Instagram account confirming that yes, he had cheated on his wife. "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. I'm sorry for any pain that my actions might have caused to the guys and the fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and my children. children. That's where I'm going to focus my attention. And coming in at number 1, Mike Myers. The actor's name is synonymous with the hilarious and charismatic character Austin Powers. However, he's reportedly completely different in real life, especially on set. There have been numerous reports suggesting that he is a nightmare to work with some people even claiming that he's a control freak and very grumpy. It has recently come to light that the actor makes tons of demands of his assistants. In fact, Myers reportedly made life a daily nightmare for the cast and crew of one of his biggest films. According to Amy Hill, who was his co-star in The Cat in the Hat, she said that it was a horrible, nightmarish experience. Hill claimed that he selfishly kept everyone waiting for hours, overruled the director, and even had someone standing by just holding his personal chocolates in a dish. Quote, "It was so weird. It was just the worst. I was miserable." Another story involves a fan that offered to buy the actor a drink. After telling Myers how much he enjoyed his work, he allegedly just looked at him and said, "I can afford my own drink," cursed at him and said, "Save your money for my next movie." So it seems like he might not be one of the celebrities that you want to approach in public. Number 10, Shakira. The singer released a savage new diss track earlier this week aimed at her ex, football star Gerard Piqué. In the song, she sings the line, "You left my mother-in-law as my neighbor, with the press at my door and the debt to the taxman." To give you some context, it has been rumored that Piqué's mom knew about his infidelity all along and tried to convince Shakira that nothing was happening, as the two of them became very close over the years and once had a great relationship. To make matters worse, his mother is literally Shakira's neighbor, as she lives on her street. In her diss track, the singer also takes a swing at her ex's new 23-year-old girlfriend, Clara Chia. The lyrics against her are pretty harsh when translated from Spanish to English. She references Clara's age and says, "I'm worth 22-year-olds. You traded a Ferrari for a Twingo. You traded a Rolex for a Casio." Then at another point in the song, she says, "She's got the name of a good person. Clearly that's not how it sounds." She also takes a dig at Piqué and says, "A lot of gyms, but work on your brain a little bit too. A she-wolf like me isn't for rookies, and I was out of your league, which is why you're with someone just like you." Number 9, Miley Cyrus. The hype around Miley's new song Flowers began when fans noticed its release date. The new single dropped on January the 13th, which was also Liam Hemsworth's 33rd birthday. While yes, this could simply be a coincidence, when you look at the lyrics of the song, it actually seems like it's a lot more than that. Although Bruno Mars isn't credited as a sample, many people believe that his 2012 hit song When I Was Your Man was reworked to fit into Miley's breakup anthem. This pretty much makes her a lyrical genius. In Bruno's song, he expressed regret about a past relationship and pretty much admits that he should have been more attentive to his ex when they were together. He sings, "I should have bought you flowers and held your hand, should have given you all my hours when I had the chance." While in Miley's version, she changes up the lyrics a bit to reflect her state of mind without Liam. She sings, "I can buy myself flowers and I can hold my own hand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand." In the song, you can see that she's finding joy and empowerment after a breakup, and essentially saying that she's better off on her own. In fact, even the tune of the two tracks are similar. So far, fans have also speculated that Liam once dedicated the song to Miley, and that's why she used it. Number 8, Taylor Swift. People believe that the 19th track from her latest album Midnights, called Would've Could've Should've, is about her relationship with her ex John Mayer. She was only 19 years old when she dated the singer, who was 32 at the time. This was back in the late 2000s, so it might not be a coincidence that it's the 19th track on the special edition version of her album. The lyrics give it all away. She says, "I would have stayed on my knees, and I damn sure never would have danced with the devil at 19. And the God's honest truth is that the pain was heaven," which is pretty damning evidence. Although John has yet to publicly respond to the song, he has called out Taylor for her lyrics in the past. Back in 2012, he told Rolling Stone that he was really humiliated by her song Dear John and expressed his resentment, saying, "I didn't deserve it. I'm pretty good at taking accountability now, and I never did anything to deserve that. It was a really lousy thing for her to do." As for Taylor's reaction, she said, "How presumptuous. I never disclose who my songs are about." Number 7, Justin Timberlake. The pop star wrote the 2002 hit song Cry Me a River about his relationship with Britney Spears. The lyrics paint a picture of a relationship that gets ruined because the girl cheats, and to get even, the guy makes sure that she finds out that he's moved on with his life. The girl then gets upset and cries a river because she realized that she screwed up and lost him forever. The track was written and recorded after a heated phone conversation between Justin and Britney, where she allegedly broke up with him. Justin said that it only took him 2 hours to write the song. In the video, he uses a camera to record himself sleeping with another girl. When his girlfriend comes back in, he sets up the camera so she will be able to see the tape, and the actress in the video looks almost identical to Britney Spears, and clearly that was intentional. The former couple dated for 2.5 years before they broke up in 2002. He publicly claimed that she cheated on him with her choreographer, Wade Robson. She eventually hit back at his allegations in 2003 and revealed that Justin was the only guy that she'd ever been with. Now, with the release of the 2021 documentary Framing Britney Spears, the song has been criticized for its misogynistic undertones. Number 6. Ariana Grande. The 2018 love song anthem Thank You Next has been described as an ode to all boyfriends, and it was definitely all that and everything more. The song dropped after Ariana and Pete Davidson ended their engagement, so the timing was not a coincidence. Often thought of as one of the most surprising Hollywood relationships, the former couple publicly revealed that they were dating at the end of May in 2018, before getting engaged just a few weeks later. But just as swiftly as things started, they rapidly came to an end. At one point, Ariana described her relationship as an amazing distraction, and in response, Pete called her out on stage during a stand-up performance. He said, "Can you imagine if I did that? My career would be over tomorrow if I spray painted myself brown and hopped on the cover of Vogue magazine and just started hating on my ex. Can you imagine?" So obviously their whirlwind romance didn't end on the best note, and that's why Ariana dragged him in her song. She also referenced a few more of her former exes like Big Sean and Ricky Alvarez, who all got a page in her burn book. The music video was inspired by some of the most iconic teen rom-coms to date, like Mean Girls and Legally Blonde. Number 5. Mariah Carey. The song Obsessed is the first single from the Grammy Award-winning singer's album Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel, and it was very clearly targeting Eminem. In Mariah's 2005 music video, she wore a black hoodie, a goatee, and sweatpants as she portrayed a love-struck gangster with an impressive collection of her photos. Obsessed debuted during her highly publicized feud with Eminem. After the video aired, fans couldn't help but notice the eerie resemblance between her character and the rapper's iconic look from the movie 8 Mile. For some people, the song represented Mariah taking a stand against his claims that they had an affair at the height of their careers. In his song Bagpipes, Eminem said, "Mariah, whatever happened to us? Why did we have to break up? Nick Cannon better back the F up." In response, she sang, "You're delusional, boy, you're losing your mind. Why are you obsessed with me? Lying that you're sexing me. Telling the world how much you miss me, but we were never, so why you tripping?" Mariah also threw some subtle shade at him with the lyrics, "You're a mom and pop, I'm a corporation. I'm a press conference, you're a conversation." So with all things considered, you can see why people think Obsessed is all about Eminem. Number 4. Perry Edwards. As fans know, the hit girl power anthem Shout Out to My Ex dropped back in 2016, a little over a year after Perry and One Direction's Zayn Malik went their separate ways. Upon its release, listeners were shook over the not-so-subtle lines directed at Zayn. If you didn't know, fans first speculated that the two started dating after they both appeared on The X Factor together. After 1 year, Zayn and Perry went public with their relationship when photos of them kissing surfaced in May of 2012. The pair got engaged in August of 2013 before they hit the red carpet together at One Direction's This Is Us film premiere. Describing the end of her relationship with Zayn, Perry said, "It was horrible, the worst time of my life. 4-year relationship, 2-year engagement, ended with a single text message. Just like that. Even though things in my career were going really well, it was incredibly difficult for me." Although Little Mix never confirmed that Shout Out to My Ex was actually written about Zayn, his cousin Sasha Malik revealed on Twitter that yes, it really was. The lyrics in it include, "Took 4 long years to call it quits. Guess I should say thank you for the hate yous and the tattoos. Oh baby, I'm cool by the way, ain't sure I loved you anyway." Number 3. Ed Sheeran. During a Click 98.9 radio interview in September of 2013, the singer admitted that he dated Ellie Goulding earlier that year. The following year, he released a song called Don't, which was reportedly written about Ellie cheating on him with Niall Horan while they were staying at the same hotel. So I think it's safe to say that that relationship didn't end well. In the lyrics, he sings, "And I never saw him as a threat until you disappeared with him to have sex, of course. It's not like we were both on tour, we were staying on the same effing hotel floor." Ed then confirmed the rumors about the inspiration for the song during an interview with The Sun. He said, "I got over the anger the moment I wrote the song. That's the end of it. I'm grateful I could get a song out of it, to be honest." In 2015, Ellie then released released a track called On My Mind, which many people thought was a response to Don't. The song describes a relationship that one person took more seriously than the other, and it even mentions a guy with a lot of tattoos, which is very clearly Ed Sheeran. So if anything, it seemed like he thought that Ellie cheated on him. Meanwhile, she interpreted their relationship as not that serious. Number 2, Justin Bieber. Before meeting Hailey Baldwin, the Canadian pop star was famously linked to Selena Gomez for many years. The pair eventually went public with their relationship in 2011 after they made an appearance at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Many fans shipped their young romance intensely, even opting to call them Jelena as a couple name. But since their relationship was so public, the two of them had a difficult time keeping things just between them. There were so many accusations of cheating and feelings being hurt left and right. Rumors of infidelity eventually led to the couple split in 2012, but since then they have got back together and broken up countless times, with a final split in March of 2018. While Justin has seemingly written dozens of songs about Selena, one of the shadiest ones is his 2015 Love Yourself. Fans think the song title was perhaps inspired by her back tattoo, and although Justin has never confirmed that the song is actually about her, during an appearance on air with Ryan Seacrest, he pretty much admitted that yes, she had some kind of influence, saying, "A lot of my inspiration comes from her. It was a long relationship, and a relationship that created heartbreak and created happiness, and a lot of different emotions that I wanted to write about." And coming in at number 1, Selena Gomez. The singer has also released tons of shady songs about Justin Bieber, both during and after their 7-year romance. With tracks like Same Old Love, It Ain't Me, and many other songs on her Rare album, you can see that she really poured her heart and soul into the lyrics. But the most obvious one is probably 2019's Lose You to Love Me. Fans interpreted the song as a direct response to Love Yourself because Justin started dating Hailey Baldwin 2 months after they broke up for the final time in 2018. In the song, she also name drops his 2015 album Purpose and says that she wants to set it on fire. In Lose You to Love Me, she sings, "I gave it my all and they know it. You turned me down and now it's showing. In 2 months, you replaced us like it was easy." Soon after releasing the song, Selena all but confirmed Lose You to Love Me is about her ex during an October 2019 on air with Ryan Seacrest appearance, where she said, "I wrote this song over a year ago. I feel completely different from when I wrote it. It's more beautiful for me because I know exactly where I was when I wrote it and how I felt." Number 10, Anne Hathaway. A woman by the name of Natasha Singh posted a viral TikTok about the unfortunate incident where she got yelled at by the star of Devil Wears Prada. The story goes that she was at the Oakland airport in California and she had just gotten off a flight and was speaking to her mum on the phone during a layover. She said, "I see this girl that looks familiar. She's dressed in black and she's trying to be low key, but she made eye contact with me. I couldn't remember her name, so I told my mum on the phone, I think the Princess Diary girl is looking at me." Natasha said at this point she smiled at her because she didn't know what else to do. Then apparently Anne flips out and starts yelling at her because she doesn't want to be looked at. Her assistant then comes over demanding that she stop taking pictures, but because of all the yelling, fans started to swarm around them, and so Anne and her assistant eventually just bolted out of there. To sum up the whole experience, Natasha said she was a complete biatch and made a scene for no reason. Number 9, Machine Gun Kelly. A security guard who goes by the name of Davis, or just DA on TikTok, spoke about his experience with the rapper in 2011 when he was working at the Showbox. He said, "Tech9 was coming through and MGK was opening for him. Tech9 is a very professional group. They always use their passes. They have a very strict tour manager. MGK was parked out front." Davis went on to say, "Long story short, there were these stairs and a bar entrance that he couldn't get into. He tried to bust through without an ID, without a pass, and without a shirt. Then he claimed that MGK tried to push through a 150-pound kid with a black belt, but when he realized that he couldn't get through, he ordered his security guard to start beating up the kid. This is when Davis said that he came in with reinforcements and put MGK in a chokehold against the wall. As a result, the rapper got kicked off the tour and banned from Seattle the very next day. So it sounds like he got what he deserved, but I don't think he's changed very much at all since then." Number 8, Nick Cannon. YouTuber Trisha Paytas hopped on that same TikTok trend talking about the time that she met Nick Cannon while she was auditioning for America's Got Talent. She said, "I always heard he was a really nice guy, and I think he was just having the worst day ever when I auditioned." She said she hadn't talked to Nick before the show started, but said that the other judges were really nice, including Howard Stern, Sharon Osbourne, and Howie Mandel. Trisha said, "Nick was horrible. Nick looked at me like I had escaped in there and somehow got past everybody. He literally yelled for security when there was no one around. It was so weird, the judges were all looking and it was hella embarrassing." Apparently Nick proceeded to yell at her and told her that she needed to get the F out of there. This was another classic Trisha Paytas story, which holds up considering that she's auditioned for and been on about a million reality TV shows. Obviously, Nick thought she was somehow trespassing backstage because no one told him that she was a contestant. Still, that would have been humiliating for her. Number 7. Justin Bieber. TikTok user named Franathan opened up about the time that she and her family met Bieber, and surprise surprise, he was a massive D-bag. She said, for some context, in 2010 my family was selected as one of the families that gets to go on a sick kids trip to Walt Disney World. This is because my younger sister had cancer. Franny went on to say that one of the celebrities on this trip was Justin Bieber, and then she showed a photo of her family posing next to him. She said, he was a D then and he's a D now. He was exceedingly rude to my sister. You could definitely tell that Justin was only there because his press people said it would look good for him to mingle with the sick kids. Keep in mind that there were kids that were in much worse condition than my sister, and literally every single family had the exact same experience with this kid. In the comment section of the video, you could see a lot of people were divided over how they felt about this story. Some fans defended Justin because he was only 16 at the time, but others weren't so forgiving. Number 6. Mel Gibson. A 25-year-old former barista who goes by the name of Maddie Ray posted on TikTok about her horrible encounter that she had with Mel Gibson in 2018. She was working at an upscale cafe in downtown Vancouver when he walked in. She said she didn't recognize him at first, but said that he was loud, he was rude, and just generally unpleasant. Maddie said, as he was ordering, he was leaning in very close to my face, and in the middle of his order he burped right in my face and just carried on as if nothing happened. If that wasn't bad enough, apparently he didn't even tip. She only realized who he was after her co-worker had recognized him, but she said that it was an interaction she would never forget. While I will say this encounter seems particularly gross, especially with the burping, something about it is very on brand for Mel Gibson when you compare it to other stories about him. Number 5. Dove Cameron. A former film extra and dancer named Cameron posted on TikTok about the time that he lived in Vancouver, and he got hired to be a background dancer in the Disney movie Descendants 3. He talked about the horrible experience he had working with Dove, saying every second we were not filming she was making out with her boyfriend, to the point where they were doing push-ups on top of each other on set, and we were all waiting for her. But he said the real drama started when the director told him and the group of extras that he was with to look at Dove because in the next scene her character was about to do something bad. He said, I guess Dove wasn't paying attention because the cameras started rolling and we were staring at her, and she goes, stop, cut, why are they looking at me? They're not allowed to be here. And apparently she started trying to call security on them to get them kicked out. Okay, this one is completely indefensible, but is it really surprising that a massive Disney star is also massively entitled? It's almost like she knows that she can get away with yelling at the extras. Number 4. Bill Murray. A woman named Adiza Ferris posted on TikTok about the traumatizing moment that the comedian embarrassed her on a flight. She was sitting next to her husband and her newborn daughter when Bill Murray got on the flight. She said he looks and he sees that he's sitting next to us and he loses it. He's like, I don't want to be on this flight, I don't want to sit next to a baby. And he was like, this is the worst seat in the entire plane. And I was mortified. I was so scared and so stressed out during the entire flight. To be fair, Adiza does say that she understands not many people would want to sit next to a baby, but apparently her daughter did not make a sound the entire flight as she was fast asleep. At the end of the video, she shows an actual photo that she took of Bill Murray on the plane, looking pretty pissed off. I mean, I can understand why he would be reluctant to sit next to a baby, but there's really no need to try and humiliate her either. Flying with a newborn would be stressful enough as it is. Number 3. Tyra Banks. Back with another story from Trisha Paytas. This one was about her horrible experience going on Tyra's talk show in the 2000s. She started her TikTok saying, I usually try to give celebrities the benefit of the doubt because you never know if they're having a bad day and people are always pushing and pulling for their attention. But mine was with Tyra Banks. They paid me and asked me to be on her show in episode 1 of season 5. The producers allegedly told her just to be herself because the episode was supposed to be about natural beauty. Because of that, the producers made her take out all her extensions as well as her fake nails to have her on the show. Trisha said that once she sat down, Tyra became extremely rude for no reason, telling her that her hair was fried and told the producers to get her off the stage because she didn't belong on her show. And to top it all off, apparently they didn't even end up paying for her time. So it sounds like Tyra just straight up didn't like her appearance and didn't care about her feelings enough to continue the show. Number 2. Jessie J. Responding to the hashtag celebrity beef trend on TikTok, a London woman named Nene surprised people with her story about running into the singer at Heathrow Airport. She was there hoping for the chance to meet 5 Seconds of Summer, and then she sees Jessie J just randomly appear at the British Airways check-in desk. She said, me being a fan of hers at the time, I literally walked over to her and said, hi, and then she turned around and gave me the dirtiest look you've ever seen in your life. She then looked at someone next to her and that person said, "Can you please get away from her?" This honestly ruined her for me. I was such a big fan. After that encounter, Nene said that she was not able to listen to her music since. To be honest, I have to side with the woman here because she's not the only person who's had a bad experience meeting Jessie J. In 2020, Michelle Visage from RuPaul's Drag Race said Jessie was a cold person and she wasn't nice when she came on the show as a guest judge. And coming in at number 1, Cuba Gooding Jr. A TikTok user named Hannah posted a candid video naming and shaming the worst celebrity that she's ever met. She started off the video saying, "I debated not doing this one, but honestly F that and F this guy." She called Gooding Jr. a smug a-hole and said, "This guy came to one of the Fashion Week parties that my magazine was throwing. He actually demanded that we send a car to pick him up, and when we told him that we couldn't, he got absurdly angry." She said that he eventually showed up and had 2 assistants with him, and apparently he sent them out into the crowd to vet and recruit women and bring them back to where he was sitting. Hannah went on to claim that he was forcefully fondling women in the crowd, catcalling people, belligerently drunk, extremely rude to staff, just being gross and really predatory. The crazy thing is that we know this story to be true, as there was even a page 6 article published with multiple witness accounts of the actor's behavior during the party. Number 10, Lizzo. According to TikTok user Taryn Hart, she and her mother were very excited when they won meet and greet Lizzo tickets on a radio show, as well as tickets to go to her concert in Dallas. After queuing for 3.5 hours, Taryn said that she finally got to meet her idol, but it was not the experience that she expected. Right away, she walked in and complimented Lizzo, saying, "OMG, you're so beautiful and you're even prettier in person." But instead of responding or saying thank you, apparently Lizzo just nodded her head in silence. Then her mother said, "I love your music and I love listening to it on the radio." And Lizzo's response was, you guessed it, more silent nodding. Taryn said the woman did not say anything. She didn't speak. Right after she nodded, she turned and smiled for the picture. After waiting 3.5 hours, that was all we got. I didn't even hear what Lizzo actually sounds like. While this experience must have been disappointing, it sounds like she was just exhausted and not necessarily trying to be rude. Number 9, Hailey Bieber. Being a waitress at a fancy restaurant will sometimes give you the chance to meet celebrities when you're working. TikToker Julia Carolan was working at a fancy restaurant in Manhattan and documented her bad experience with Hailey Bieber. In the video, she said, "This is going to be controversial, but I've met her a handful of times and each time she was not nice. I really want to like her, but I have to give her a 3.5 out of 10. Sorry." When the video went viral, Hailey eventually saw it and quickly took to the comment section of the video to apologize. She said, "Just came across this video and wanted to say I'm so sorry if I've ever given you bad vibes or a bad attitude. That was not ever my intention." She also added that she'd like to apologize to Julia in person and thanked her for calling her out. Now obviously there's no excuse for that behavior, but unlike the Jenner sisters, at least Hailey took some form of accountability. Number 8, Alexa Snap. A former Hollywood stylist by the name of Tamaran dished the dirt on her TikTok page and spoke about the worst stars that she's ever had to work with. She rated the Pitch Perfect star Alexa Snap a 1 out of 10 and said, "There's some celebrities who don't pay because they think their name is enough, and out of the Pitch Perfect cast, that was Alexa Snap." Tamaran helped put together her outfit for the 2015 MTV Movie Awards. She said, "Whilst being fitted in this dress, Alexis decided it would be wonderful to eat a slice of chocolate ice cream cake. Part of the cake melted onto the dress, and guess who had to clean it?" The stylist then revealed that a certain designer had lent the actress $1,300 worth of jewelry to wear on the red carpet, but when it came time for her to return the jewels, Alexis said that she couldn't find it. And on top of all of that, she wanted all the services for free. Tamaran said, "When my boss asked for payment, Alexis responded with, 'I needed to pay you?' Talk about nightmare." Number 7, Kendall Jenner. TikTok user Julia Carolan revealed that the model allegedly assigned someone else to speak for her at restaurants. She said, "This is another one where unfortunately I did not have the best experience with them. She used to come in all the time and was pretty cold towards staff. She also usually has someone else to speak for her and doesn't speak directly to staff. From my experiences with her, I have to give her a 4 out of 10. While it's possible that she might have been having an off day, this story does line up with another incident that occurred in 2014 at Mercer Kitchen in New York City. Kendall was dining at the restaurant with Hailey Bieber when she got upset because the staff wouldn't serve her alcohol, considering that she was underage at the time. So then she left in a hurry sorry without paying for her meal. When the waitress confronted her about it, she apparently threw $20 bills at her. Kendall later admitted that yes, she did forget to pay for her meal, but she denied throwing money at the waitress who chased her. Number 6. James Corden. Last month, the owner of a high-end New York City restaurant called Balthazar made a viral Instagram post blasting James Corden, all for his horrible behavior towards staff. He claimed in one instance James demanded 2 free rounds of drinks for him and his friends after he presented a hair that was found on his food and said, "Get us another round of drinks this second, and also take care of all of our drinks so far. This way I won't write any nasty reviews on Yelp." According to the owner, James was so awful that he felt compelled to out him publicly and ban him from the restaurant. In response to the incident, a TikToker by the name of Nasa El Reyes made a video calling him out and said James Corden is a prime example of a red flag in celebrities. He said that the rumors have been boiling about how rude James Corden is behind the scenes, and this is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Nasa went on to say that if a man is rude to the waitstaff, he will be rude to you, which is 100% accurate. Number 5. Kylie Jenner. The former waitress Julia Carolan also exposed Kylie Jenner big time for allegedly being a horrible tipper. Speaking about the experience, Julia said she was fine, but she tipped $20 on a $500 dinner bill. Do with that information what you will. She gave Kylie a 2 out of 10 rating, which was the lowest out of all the other celebrities. The video received millions of likes and thousands of comments, all from people who were as equally disappointed in Kylie's tip as Julia was. Someone commented, "Kylie tipped $20 and she's the youngest billionaire, and I really feel like Kylie thinks $20 means 20%. Ouch." These days, there are more and more conversations surrounding tipping culture, and most people can agree that it's a messed up system and restaurants should just pay their waitstaff a living wage. But we can also agree that a so-called billionaire can afford to leave more than a $20 tip. It's not just stingy, it's incredibly disrespectful. Number 4. Nicki Minaj. Cindy, also known as Sin Cindy on TikTok, is a former customer service representative for a few major airlines at LAX, and she had plenty of run-ins with celebrities over the years. It turns out her experience with Nicki Minaj was not a positive one. In fact, she rated it a 2 out of 10. Allegedly, the rapper did not want to get off the airplane until the flight attendants got off first. Cindy said, "I know some people are gonna come for me for this one, but 2 out of 10. Wouldn't get off the aircraft until everyone else got off, which she can't do because the flight attendants need to get off. I was a fan before I met her, but after that, yeah, no." So it's a little difficult to say why it is that Nicki wanted to be the last person to get off flight, but it might have just had something to do with privacy. As long as she wasn't being super demanding about the request though, I don't really see an issue with this one. Number 3. Naomi Campbell. According to a flight attendant Tom, who goes by the name of TrampTom69 on TikTok, the model is allegedly very concerned with germs on airplanes. As a result, Tom said that he had some mixed things to say about her, but he did call her a hygienic queen, claiming that she sits on napkins whenever she flies to avoid touching the seat, and so she gets points for that. While he didn't go into full details about his experience, judging by her history, we know that Naomi might not be the easiest celebrity to deal with on flights. In 2008, she was sentenced to 200 hours of community service, all for attacking 2 police officers during an air rage incident at Heathrow Airport. She was traveling in first class and became irate when the captain explained to her why her bag had not been placed on the flight. Prosecutors said that she shouted a number of obscenities at him, tried to kick the police who were summoned to remove her after she ordered the captain to delay takeoff and look for her missing piece of luggage. So that sounds like it would have been a complete mess to deal with. Number 2. Orlando Bloom. The actor was recently exposed by an Apple Store employee on TikTok who goes by the name of Emma-tainment. She posted a video where she rated the experiences that she's had meeting celebrities who've come into the store. Emma gave Orlando a 5 out of 10, mostly for his bizarre behavior. She said, "This guy came in with a motorcycle helmet, went all the way to the back, went to the staircase, which people aren't allowed to go back there unless you're an employee, and I went back there and I said, 'Do you need help with anything?' And then he took off his helmet and it was Orlando Bloom." But apart from that story, there hasn't really been many complaints about how he treats staff. In fact, in 2017, it came out that he unknowingly got a waitress in London fired from her workplace after he slept with her. But when he found out about what happened, he called the venue, apologized profusely, and tried to get her job back. I mean, this doesn't necessarily make him a good guy, but at least he tried to set things right. Coming in at number 1, Jennifer Lopez. The former Hollywood stylist called Tamaran, who has worked for several celebrity stylists from 2008 to 2017, took to TikTok to document her less than pleasant experience with JLo. She said that people who work for JLo aren't allowed to look at her, and there's a reason why she can't hold down a costumer or a seamstress. This lines up pretty well with all the reports of the singer's unpleasant behavior. Apparently, she tries to avoid contact with anyone in the service industry and makes a illogical demands. According to a flight attendant for United Airlines, the singer flat out ignored the staff members and didn't even directly respond to them. The employee told Star magazine, "I just said, 'What can I get you to drink?' But Jennifer refused to even acknowledge me. Turned her head away and told her personal assistant, 'Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke,' and she wouldn't even look at me. It was sad. She seems so sweet in her movies." So it's likely that she's very different in real life.
Starting off with number 10, we have Shane Dawson. After the Hair by Jay drama, Trisha decided it was time to completely cut off Shane Dawson and Rylan Adams as her friends, which was especially shocking considering Shane and Trisha had been friends for roughly 12 years. She spilled it all in a long video called "Shane and Ryland Are Literal Scum of the Earth." In the video, she exposed that Shane confided in her that he was afraid of Jeffree and was considering dropping him during his scandals. She also revealed that he told a lie to Gabby Hanna that started a huge feud between them, where Shane told Gabby that Trisha had an STD. Trisha also showed a clip from a video Peter Mon did months ago, where Peter revealed that Shane talked badly about Trisha behind her back, with Shane calling her a pathological liar, even though Trisha has never spoken badly about Shane ever, and always publicly defended him. She finished off the video saying that Shane is manipulative and a bad person, and she feels a weight lifted off her shoulder now that she's done with him. She also revealed that Shane and Jeffree only communicate in voice memos because they were scared of screenshots getting revealed. And if that isn't shady, I don't know what is. And guys, if you're liking the video so far, make sure to give it a like below. And at number 9, At Another Beautiful Day. So this couple is wild. Basically, Caitlin Onk and Elena Ellengart run an Instagram account called Another Beautiful Day. And since a lot of their blog is based around travel, they decided they wanted to do a long cycling trip around Africa. And the whole thing would cost around £10,000. But instead of earning the money themselves, they decided to ask their loyal followers to give them the money that they needed to fund the trip instead. They made a GoFundMe page that is surprisingly still up to this day, even with all the backlash that they received for it. And on the page, they described how they wanted to show their followers all of their travels, but they need their followers' help to go on this adventure, saying that all the money would be used to fund the essentials they needed for the trip. And at the time of recording this video, they have a little over £1,100 donated, so I guess not everyone thought it was so crazy. But of course, a GoFundMe like that is gonna get a lot of backlash, which of course it did, with people calling out the couple for being entitled and not getting a normal job to earn the money that they need. And at number 8, Keemstar and H3 Productions. In the summer of 2020, popular YouTubers Keemstar and H3 Productions got in an all-out battle on the platform, with both of them making videos exposing one another. And because they both have done some shady stuff in the past, they were both dropped by sponsors in the process. It started when Keemstar was dropped by G Fuel, because Ethan directly called them out in his video for being affiliated with Keemstar. G Fuel was one of Keem's most notable sponsors, with Keem even partnering with them on multiple products. After this happened, Keemstar called out Ethan for crossing a major line, as it's an unspoken rule to never mess with sponsorships, as that's a dangerous precedent to set. This resulted in a Twitter mob going after Ethan for his past, resulting in him getting dropped by Old Spice. After all the dust had settled, Ethan revealed in a podcast that he was getting sued by Keemstar for the drama costing him millions of dollars. And at number 7, Tana Mongeau. Being a Tana Mongeau fan in 2020 was pretty difficult, as she probably got into her worst scandals to date last year. She was already getting tons of hate online for openly partying in the midst of the pandemic. Then around the same time, her former friends and collaborators, Simply Nessa and Colin Berry, called her out for being microaggressive towards them, even saying that Tana purposely pitted people against them because of their skin color. And after months and months of people asking for Tana to address it, she finally did when she posted the worst apology video in the history of the platform. And oh boy, was it bad, full of jump cuts and a lack of facial expression that made it clear that she was just reading off a script. The response was terrible, and she ended up saying that she would address it all later. And she did make somewhat of a follow-up video claiming that she would be addressing it further, but that hasn't happened and probably never will. And at number 6, James Charles. Even though James has not been in many scandals since his massive one in 2019, sometimes he just can't help but get a little catty online. Some examples of this are back in 2020. It started in August when e.l.f. announced that they were going to be collaborating with Alicia Keys on some products. But since Alicia is anti-makeup and James assumed it was a makeup collab, he tweeted out, quote, "People who do not wear makeup should not be coming out with makeup brands, but that's just my opinion." And the next day, after tons of backlash, James apologized. But he didn't learn his lesson, because only a week later, Lauren Conrad sent him a PR package, and James's package was a little messed up, and he was only sent the components, no actual makeup. So he responded to to that by going off in an Instagram story, saying in it that the person had no business having a makeup brand. And obviously, Lauren should not have sent out a package like that, but also James did not have to act like the beauty police either. Halfway at number 5, fake BLM protester. In the midst of the George Floyd protests that were sweeping the nation, influencers were called out for performative activism, wherein they were faking support for the movement in order to seem as an ally online. The worst example of this was when a Twitter user posted a video of an influencer getting out of her car, borrowing a drill from someone, posing for a picture, and then swiftly hopping back in her Mercedes-Benz. Immediately, the internet went on a frenzy to try and find out who this woman was, with it later being revealed that she was Fiona Moriarty McLaughlin, whose Twitter bio described her as a commentary journalist with the Washington Examiner and a former employee of Billboard and the Hollywood Reporter. In at number 4, Adeline Morin. Adeline got called out for many things last year. First was the fact that she was traveling back and forth from Toronto to LA many times over the course of the pandemic, and she didn't quarantine after the traveling either. But then she decided to create even more drama surrounding the group's annual Big Bear trip. There was already fans angry that the group was going at all, but then Adeline started drama with one of the other girls and exposed someone in the group for bailing on the trip the last minute. This then resulted in fans digging to find out who the person was and hating on the other members of the group to reveal who it was. And other members of the lifestyle community had to come out on their vlog channels and reveal that they were not the person who started the drama, with Remy Ashton being one of those people. It all ended with Adeline getting backlash from fans for starting childish drama on a trip that shouldn't have even been happening in the first place. And at number 3, Lorraine's birthday. Back in the early days of the pandemic, the internet broke after reports that tons of huge influencers got together at the Hype House for influencer Lorraine's 22nd birthday party. And even tons of PG and seemingly unproblematic YouTubers attended, like the D'Amelio sisters and Emma Chamberlain. In an interview with The Hollywood Fix at the Hype House on the night of the party, co-founder Thomas Petrou said that 67 people were inside the house while hundreds more were outside hoping to get in. Not good in a pandemic. And all the people involved got tons of hate, with Lorraine responding to a tweet from Tyler Oakley calling them out by apologizing. But that was not the first or last influencer party, so clearly they didn't care that much. And at number 2, the Ace family. The Ace family received tons of backlash after they revealed they were moving to Mexico in the middle of the pandemic, leaving LA to move to a different country. And the video they posted to announce it made things even worse, as it was abundantly clear that the family had an insane amount of privilege to do such a thing, flying everyone over on a private jet while eating lavish meals. Then the rest of the video was them showing off their huge Mexican mansion and how close they were to the water, with them dancing and drinking. And of course, the reaction to that video was awful, so the family ended up disabling comments on the video. But the family clearly did not care about the negative attention from the video, as they posted another Mexico vlog only a few days later. Twitter account Def Noodles captured some of the negative comments before the comments were removed, and it was pretty much flooded with people calling out the family for their travels, reminding them that we are in a pandemic, and telling them how irresponsible that they are being. And finally, at number 1, Olivia Jade. Olivia Jade was the biggest named, disgraced for her part in the college admissions scandal, along with her parents. Olivia had a thriving career as an influencer, but her parents pushed her to go to college. But we learned later that they cut some corners while doing so. Sometime after the scandal, she got backlash for posting an Instagram photo critical of the media outlets that were coming down hard on her parents. Even though that picture only made her look more entitled for not listening to valid criticism. She ended up going on Red Table Talk to apologize for her involvement and to be open about her plans for moving forward. And now, after a long time away from her YouTube channel, she just posted her first vlog back after the scandal. But the majority of the comments seem to be negative, and I'm not sure how that will change her decision to come back.